What's up, everybody? Garrett back here. And as you guys know, I was in Kansas City for the last couple days at Panic Film Fest in Kansas City with the Radpack. And it really fun, guys. Panic Fest was basically like a film fest where you see a lot of movies early screenings of movies that either don't have distribution yet, that are coming out that we get a little early access to. So really cool. We saw things like Evil Dead Rise, amongst other things. So guys, it was a really killer event. But one movie that I want to talk about today is one movie that really stood out to me that I knew nothing about going into Panic Fest. And to be honest, it kind of randomly dropped on us. We were going to a Barbara Crampton double feature. She was there. We watched From Beyond. We Are Still Here. And after that double feature was over, there was word that Scout Taylor Compton was there, which I wasn't expecting her to be there at the event. I knew Barbara Crampton was going to be there. I didn't know Scout was going to be there. And I did see Spider-1 from Power Man 5000 there throughout the day. So kind of cool that he was there. I've seen him at other conventions and stuff before, so I know he was really big into the horror genre. But I did not know that he was directing movies right now. I know he had one movie already called Allegoria. I've never seen that. I do kind of remember hearing about it, but I have never checked that out. But he was there not only to watch all these movies, but to also debut his newest movie. And Scout Taylor Compton was there because she is one of the top actresses in the movie, along with Kirsty Fox. And the cast was there. A couple people from the cast were there to watch this movie. And Spider said that this was the first time anyone was seeing this movie complete, including Scout Taylor Compton. So really cool that we were able to be there for the debut of this movie. Well, come to find out, it is coming to Tubi in about a week. I think April 21st is going to debut on Tubi. And this movie is called Bury the Bride. Now, before we get any further, what I want to tell you guys is everything you need to know about Bury the Bride, I'm going to tell you right now. Do not watch any trailers. Do not read anything else on it. Just listen to what I have to say, because the more blind you go into this, the better it is. Because like I said, myself, Mel, Justin, KB, people that I was hanging out with had never heard anything about this movie, and we knew nothing going in. And to be quite honest, I'm glad this came right after the big Barbara Crampton event, because we just stayed and watched with Scout, Kersey, Spider, and some of the other cast members. And afterwards, they were going to do a Q&A. So to see this debut, I'm going to tell you right now, this to me was the sleeper of the whole Panic Fest weekend. This movie, I just haven't stopped thinking about since I've seen it. Obviously, Evil Dead Rise was the big one that everybody was excited to see early. And this one was kind of the sneak attack. We really loved it. We loved it a lot. I'm so glad we stayed and checked it out. Again, what I like about this movie is obviously I'm a huge fan of Scout Taylor Compton, so that alone was going to get me to check this thing out regardless. But man, it was such a cool ride. Premise is Scout Taylor Compton's about to get married, and they're going to go on a bachelorette party with her and a couple of her friends. Well, her fiance recommends this house kind of in the middle of nowhere, basically says, hey, it's very chill. You and your friends can go here and just hang out, and nobody's going to bother you. So they went to this kind of isolated place to just hang out for the weekend. The friends have a really great dynamic. Like, some were friends since childhood, some are sisters, others are new friends. They kind of just have a lot of different characteristics and personalities, which makes this really work. And I think they all did just a hell of a job playing those characters. I mean, there was some drama in there. Basically felt very realistic to what you may get in a situation like this. And not only that, but they didn't really know much about Scout's character's fiance. They really have never met him before, but she's like, listen, we met, I fell in love, I don't know what you want me to say, I'm happy, so this is what I want to do, I want to get married to this guy. As the bachelorette party is going on, something happens that kind of changes the game, and that's where the wild ride begins. So again, I wish I could tell you more about this. I do not want to tell you anything, because I want you to go in the same way I did, because as we're watching it and there's a little bit of a shift in this movie that I think is going to really kind of shock people. And again, it's always refreshing to find a movie, especially something current, that gets you to be like, oh my God, I did not see that coming. And it was just a real cool flick. They filmed this thing in 7 days. They did not have a huge budget for it, but they did really well with the directing. This thing does not look like it's really low budget. I think that they really just made this work in all aspects. The characters were great. And like I said, I wish I could tell you more, but what I am here to tell you is to check this thing out. Bury Your Bride with Scout Taylor Compton, directed by Spider-1 and Kirsty Fox. This thing is coming to Tubi, so definitely check this one out. And after this was over, they did a Q&A with the cast and talked a little bit about the making of this movie. And Spider said, hey, guys, if you really dig this thing, get out there, talk about it, hashtag bury the bride, because the more people talk about it, the more this thing gets seen, the more it's liked, then there's opportunities for things like physical media releases and stuff like that. And man, I would love to have this thing in my collection. So the more we can kind of get the ball rolling on this film, the better. And I would not be out here telling you about this film unless I absolutely loved it. And like I said, this weekend I saw about 8 movies, and besides Evil Dead, this was my absolute favorite of the bunch. So I'm so glad I was able to be one of the first people to check it out. Now, if you guys didn't check out, Justin and I did a mutual Evil Dead Rise spoiler-free review for anybody who wants to hear what we had to think about Evil Dead Rise before you guys check it out. We don't spoil it at all. But man, this is talking about Bury the Bride, and I know the whole Radpack, Mel, Justin, myself, we all dug this one a lot. So you may see us all do videos on this thing because, like I said, we want to keep the ball rolling here and tell you guys, definitely check this thing out. But like I said, do not look at trailers, do not read anything on it. Listen to this video and just check it out on Tubi, April 21st. All right, guys, thank you for checking this out. When you see this movie, I want you to comment underneath what you thought about it because I would love to hear it. I want to just make sure it's not just me. I'm very picky with movies, and I really did like this a lot. So I'm curious to see what other people who are into the same stuff I am thinks about this thing. I appreciate you guys checking this out. This is Garrett at Born to Be Rad, and like always, stay rad.